You gave me
Uh,
you gave me a favorite NPC.
Andy,
Just recording it. I was just trying to make sure the audio picked up, and I think it did. Say something.
something.
Okay. Yeah. Audio picked up.
Alrighty. So last session, you guys finally made it to the Mages College due to some intense and questionable negotiations with God, I'm forgetting his name. Give me a second. I have him here somewhere.
With the jackass noble that, honestly, if I get the chance to, I will eventually punch him in the face.
Yes, the noble elf
Yes.
that runs the city.
Did I
He
fucking
lent
stutter?
yes, he lent you his family crest to be able to make it through the city. Upon arriving, you meet several people, one of which was a half orc uh, elder student named Alicia,
Mm.
known for having only one arm and another arm made of arcane magic. And then, yes, you also met the librarian gnome mage Paraguay, one of the one of the four one of the four emperors of the sea, four lords of the sea.
One of the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yes, one of the four pirate lords. And then you finally met the archmage himself, Flounder Paradine. He had the features of an elf, but he looked like he was at least 100-something years old, signifying exactly how old he is. Now, you guys have been given permission to search the school to find any evidence of whatever you're looking for on Cade's brother.
Do, I was gonna say, do, do you even remember what we're looking for?
You guys are looking for anything from him. You guys didn't even
Yeah.
specifically say what you're looking for.
Basically anything that could, like, give us more info into his background and shit is basically what we're looking for specifically. But anything that, like, hints as to why he all of a sudden decided, fuck it, I'm gonna torment the fucking fabric of magic and reality itself.
Yes,
Yeah,
only
Because
now we
identify.
have a space time continuum collapsing in on itself, and it's eventually going to have a stroke that leads to the heat death of the universe.
I think what was it? Kate asked last time about what he was what his studies were into or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or who he was meeting with outside of classrooms or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
I remember that.
if I remember correctly, I think he was like trying to look into some like advanced like the Harry Potter like the forbidden area in the library kind of shit.
Yeah,
I think that's the last thing I remember. I think that Kate was looking at, and I think he found something, but I'm not 100% sure what he found.
I'd have to
But
go
you
back
were
and watch the archive I uploaded a while ago.
Me too.
yes, what you were looking for was just whatever he was studying into, and what Paraguay was able to give you was that he was studying from books that hardly anyone could read. Very ancient old magic.
Mm.
See, magic isn't outlawed in this college. It's freely opened, with warning though.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is so old it's in languages that can no longer be spoken or read.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, when you guys finished your discussion with the Archmage. He disappeared. You guys gave him some. You guys gave Paraguay some change, and he disappeared in a puff of smoke. You guys are now left in the library to your own devices.
And if I remember correctly, we were given at least the ability to roam about the college to see what we could find.
You were given the. You're given the permission to.
You know what I meant.
Yes. You're given the permission to go where you need to in the college.
Yep.
However, everyone roll me history.
Okay. This will be fun. I have no idea where my 20-sided dice is, so guess who's rolling fucking on roll 20 today? I got robbed on that. I didn't even see the die move.
Not bad. 15.
Okay.
I don't know which one's gonna be better for me. Got an 11 in real life. Doesn't sound too promising.
No,
All right.
that's not.
Well,
And then a 10 on here. All right.
you can only pick one. I allow you to use real dice if you choose.
I'll just testing which one's gonna be better. I'll do real today.
All right, hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
Yep. That might actually give me time to look for my fucking die.
Ooh. Shit. It's gonna be that kind of day, isn't it?
Probably. Like I said, I needed to actually roll my regular ass roll 20, and I don't like doing that because the roll 20 die like to fuck me royally.
Oh, shit. I just rolled my dice for just see what the dice is gonna be today. That's a 7.
Hey,
Rip.
I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
that's probably a little of both. Some good, some bad, some in between.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Who had the highest roll?
B hit 15.
15. Alrighty. Cade, what you remember is that you guys don't actually physically walk through doorways. You kind of just like teleport to where you need to go. Now, how the mechanic works, you don't quite understand, but that's what you realize.
Okay, so so if Kay is understanding this right, he just thinks of where he needs to go and walk through the doorway.
That's an intelligence check. The history check was just to remember how you got here, and all you remember is you go through you kind of like teleport through a school. So if you want to try and figure out how to, if you guys want to try to deduce how to do it, I would need you guys to roll me intelligence check at disadvantage.
Why
Or no,
disadvantage?
arcane at disadvantage.
How come at disadvantage?
Because none of you really study magic.
Why not? I got nothing better to attempt at the moment, anyway. Can't get any more disadvantageous than that, besides, the
Yeah.
natural one.
Yeah, I didn't do fair much better either.
How much?
I don't know how to do this with real life dice, so I'm just gonna do it.
Just roll it
twice.
twice.
Yep.
Hey, same as I got.
So
We have
right
literally one brain cell between us.
total 15. All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna allow you guys to fluff this of how you're discussing how to fucking maneuver through this school. You guys don't know how. You guys Kate only knows that you just teleport from where you were to where you want to be. That is it. That's all the information you guys know.
Hmm.
Go.
I'm sitting here in my head thinking.
They do.
Could we imagine we're going to the cafeteria in this place, and then we can ask someone in the cafeteria, like, "Hey, where can I find information on this?"
That's
Since
actually not a bad idea.
since Cade can't really figure out how, Cade's just gonna look into the door.
Gonna look at the door.
Like if you're transported from one area to the other, like as does the door open, or is the door a portal that when you open the door there's just like mystical like magic stuff? This is basically the equivalent of Cade poking it with a stick, by the way.
I feel Strong Killer would kind of be just examining the door and just doing like some alakazams and shit, seeing if anything works.
Alright, you know what? Fuck it. Locke's just gonna walk through the door.
Hello?
Hello? Did I drop and then come back, or what?
Steve's not talking.
They might have muted. Hello? But yeah, like I said, Locke's just gonna walk straight through the fucking door. He gives no shits.
I mean, it's still a door, so it should just operate like normal.
Sorry about that. I'm back. I had to do something real quick. You said
Ah.
you were looking at the doorway?
Yeah, I was
Yes.
basically Cade was trying to see if the door was magic or the door opened up and there's a portal or
Yes, you open up the door and you guys see a normal hallway.
uh-huh.
If I could find a map of a corridor that I liked, I would use it. But right now, it
Right
just
now,
looks
Well,
like the
theater of mind.
got it.
theater of the mind. I'm sorry for this. Mage's College is going to be a lot of theater of the mind just because I couldn't find exactly what I was looking for.
What you were,
It's
yeah,
fine.
That's fine.
So right now, what you guys see, just picture the corridors of Hogwarts.
Okay.
Okay.
You
Yeet.
guys should all know what that looks like.
Yeet.
I'm a living encyclopedia on that series, so yes.
More than me.
That's what you see when you open up these doors.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
And they're the regular big thick doors with the iron rings that you open. You
yeah,
pull on to
the
open them up.
iron rings and all that shit. Got it.
Yeah, so you open it up and boom, corridor, windows, sun shining, no one's around. It's an empty hallway.
Okay, I know this place was full when we got here, but Locke's going to actually step forward, like, first if nobody else is going to. But, yeah, he's going to step forward and actually, like, look around in the hallway.
So you step out of the room into the hallway.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeet.
You disappear.
Okay.
Like you're just gone.
Do I disappear to myself as well, or am I just...
No,
Did I
you
just
disappear some.
to everybody else?
Yeah, you just poof. See, you went somewhere, but to their eyesight. You
I just got
you just
kidnapped by
disappear.
nothing.
Yeah, just nothing. Boom, gone.
Well, at this point, Strong Killer's freaking out because he likes animals and
Kitty.
And
his
the
big
animal
cat
man
friend.
had actually taught him a different style of fighting.
Yeah, just up and disappeared.
Does drunk killer just go kitty and start charging through the door?
I think so. That sounds like yes. He just charges through the door and then just
Running
evaporates in
start.
the
Yeah.
mist.
Oh no, Kitty. Boom, gone. Cade.
Kate is doing the teenager like, oh my god.
Wait a minute, the one of us with a brain cell actually left.
Kate's just like, I hope this takes me to I hope this takes me to the right spot. And just like literally jumps through the door.
I like that we all three had different reactions to going through a fucking portal. One of us
Okay.
the technical
Kate is
leader of
basically a
the group.
teenager at this point.
Arguments.
We made the joke with the original party that Locke is the party dad. So party dad does exactly what a father figure dad would do if their children are scared of something, they go first.
Okay. I need you. Okay, so. Give me a second. Need to do some math real quick. Alrighty, so. I need you all to roll me a D100 to find out where the hell you guys go.
Oh shit. Alright, I'm just gonna have roll 20 do it because I am efforting this.
57.
71.
Knowing my luck,
1.
7.
Alright, so
Close enough.
so Strong Killer, you rolled the 57?
E.
Okay. Alrighty. I know where you go.
Fun.
Okay. I'm going to put up an encounter just so I can run you guys.
Kind of like how I did with that Halloween session. Kind of
Yes.
adopting that.
Yeah, it's smart to do.
It was
Putting a
literally
turn
the
order.
perfect thing that I could think of. That way everybody gets an equal amount of time and everybody gets to do what they're trying to accomplish.
Alright, let me pull your guys' characters back into place. I just disappeared you guys for the immersion. So click on your character sheets and
And the token, obviously, so that you get in the turn
Yeah.
order.
yeah.
A Nat 1 initiative.
Holy crap.
Nice.
I don't know how that fucking works, but I go dead fucking last.
What am I clicking again?
Initiative.
Oh,
First,
shit.
you on the map, click on your token.
Okay.
Go to your character sheet and hit initiative.
Am I dumb?
Click on the word initiative.
Maybe.
Don't worry, you're still new to this
Oh,
game.
there's the initiative. Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
18.
it's dead center at the top of your thing. All right. Start from the descent.
Damn, 20.
Okay.
A dirty 20.
Cade, this is awesome for you because you actually got the golden tuna where exactly you needed to go. I randomly rolled my D100 to see what number you needed to get exactly where you wanted to be. And somehow you got the magic number.
No shit.
And you're on top of the team turn order.
Great position to
So,
be in.
so put this over here in the corner. Character sheet. All right, so the rest of you guys, you don't know where the fuck you are, so
You're still lost in the ether for right now.
yeah. So you walk through the doorway, and you walk through another, and you're in this little opening area. Right here to your left is nothing but storage area, boxes, crates, and whatnot, baskets and stuff. And it just looks like a little 1-bedroom apartment.
Cade will start like going into the main room and start exploring a little bit.
Of course, to your right, you see 2 seats and a fireplace. Directly in front of you, you see another room with some books, a bookshelf, place to sit. You see a trunk in the bedroom, and another room to the right in the bedroom.
Um,
Roll me
okay.
an Arcana real quick.
Arcana. Oh, come on, lucky dice, do me good. Oh, not 20.
You lucky dog.
Being gonna hate me. Oh,
Alrighty.
that's a natural 20.
All right, Cade, you teleport into this room, look around. You can feel the magic, but not just any magic. It's familiar magic, the magic of your brother, and you can also sense the same celestial energy that you exude, even though you've never been here before.
Okay, so in Cade's mind, he's like, okay, this is pretty. I'm counting my prayers. And counting my prayers to the gods. Like, wow, this is actually kind of lucky. So Cade will go ahead and start investigating the um his little offshoot office to the in front of him. I think you said.
All right, roll me investigation.
Okay. Sorry for that. Nothing. Okay. And that is a 12.
12. All right,
Not great, but not bad.
it's all right. What you see is a bunch of books. Like you saw the thousands of books in that library,
Mhm.
all written in Common, Elvish, and Dwarvish. Some you can read and some you couldn't, but you could clearly tell that this is Elven and Dwarvish and whatnot.
Mhm.
These right here are written in a language you've never seen before. Like at all. There's 3 books that are different from the rest, tucked in there that you just can't read. Like you open it, it just looks like a bunch of scribbles and chicken scratches.
Hmm.
But you also look, but as you flip through it, you see notes written on like scrap pieces of paper or on the pages, just on the spaces where the
Like the
pages,
margins.
yeah, the margins. There we go. That's what I was looking for.
I
With
got you.
little notes and arrows pointing to it, also in the same language.
Hmm. I don't think Cade would be able to tell if it was his brother's handwriting or not. I don't think he spent enough time with them to figure that out.
No, you remember in your backstory, you
Yeah,
guys were separated as children.
I know. That's what Cade's kind of thinking to himself. I'm like, can't really tell what's his handwriting and what isn't.
What do
Um,
what do you do with the books?
Cade is going to stuff the notes into the books and stuff them in his pack and see if we can find someone to translate it later on.
All right, 1 second.
Because pretty obvious that he hasn't returned to this place in quite some time. Okay. Cade's going to continue investigating the bedroom and that trunk you mentioned.
All right. You don't have to re-roll. That was too good. I'll allow 2 rooms out of that
Okay.
natural 20 roll. So you open up the chest, and you can see there's okay, spare clothes. Not really much in there of monetary value. You can see that the clothes were nicer. They're like high-end clothes that a noble child would be wearing.
Cade has a Cade has a inkling of an idea. He's going to
Okay.
take one of the noble robe sets and stuff it in his backpack. He has an idea that might come in useful later on, but he's not 100% sure if they're actually going to be needed. So he's going to stuff it in his bag as nicely as he can, at least.
Yeah. Alrighty. Anything else you do?
Um, can Cade see if there's anything else as far as like where he uh where he might have like either hidden something or possibly like I don't know, I'm trying to look for something that looks out of the looks out of the ordinary as far as like what he would expect his brother to do.
Seeing as how you don't know what your brother would do, roll me a perception at disadvantage.
Okay, that's fair. Come on, Twin Link. Come on, Twin Link. Actually, pretty close to the same. What's my modifier? 17.
17.
Yep.
You're looking around and you notice a loose floorboard right here, right next to the bed. Like it's not too loose, but you notice that the 2 edges of the boards don't quite match up like the rest of the room. The board closest to the bed is a little bit more pried up.
And Cade will try to see if it's loose enough to move and see if that's something he can stash something in.
Roll me. Actually, no, don't roll. It's just a loose board. Yeah, you can easily pull the board up. And you do notice something. There's a journal there.
Am I able to see the handwriting for this?
Yes. It's written. But my question to you is, can you read and write, or at least read Elvish?
Uh,
Nope, you cannot.
No. I'm on the darker side of that one.
So yeah, so it can be translated by someone who understands Elvish.
Cade's kind of kicking himself. It's like, Jesus, I spent so much time in the fucking forest. You would think I would have picked up a book or something in town. Next thing you know, Cade's in this bookstore looking for Elvish for Dummies. Shoot.
Is that all you're gonna do, or are you gonna search the last room?
I'm going to go ahead and search the last room before I leave.
All right, roll me investigation.
Okay. Ew. 7.
There is a pile of papers written in various languages, none so rare as the books you found, but you're just skimming over the papers and you don't really see much that interests you.
Mm.
Because there's just too much there.
Okay. Cade's gonna kind of gather some of the more important looking documents and try to uh put them up nice and tightly and see if he can go through them later with someone that can read and write and see if there is anything worth a note in it.
Roll me
And
2d10s.
2d10s. Okay.
Actually, no, 2d12s, please.
D12s. Okay. I got an 8 and a 3, so that's 11.
What's 11 times 11?
11 times 11 is 121.
That's how many papers you got.
Oh, geez.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. Fun
Yeah.
experiment slash.
And they're all
Lab
written
session.
in Elvish.
Some celestial, some elvish, some common, some dwarven. It's just a bunch of papers written in different languages.
Gotcha.
Hallmark.
Right. And with that, we are now switching to someone else. Congratulations, Cade.
Hey.
Alrighty. Next, Strong Killer.
Oh boy.
God, I love it.
Something tells me I'm gonna have to diffuse the situation in a little bit.
Yeah.
You got one of my favorites.
Oh god.
Oh shit, it's the principal's office.
No. What he got was like, I hope your character isn't prone to epilepsy.
Oh no.
Because you teleport right into what's called the rune study room.
You and I had two different trains of thought process with that, because my ass immediately thought rave when you said epilepsy.
Yeah.
Ain't prone to epilepsy and seizures because you can come in, you run in there running, Kitty, and everyone, an entire class is just staring at you, and you're looking around, and it looks like a kaleidoscope of fucking colors and symbols dancing around the sky, in the air around you.
Yes, the acid trip room, my personal favorite.
I'm just standing there like, what is going on? Where's Kitty?
And what this dude is like, who are you? What are you even talking about?
I just get up in their face. I'm like, where is Kitty?
Some of the students start to freak the hell out and like scream and start running towards the professor that's at the front. What is going on here? Who are you?
Um, my eyes just kind of go wide, and I'm like, I'm strong killer. I got invited to this college, but now I'm lost and I'm missing my kitty.
Oh lordy. Roll me persuasion at disadvantage since you were screaming and yelling and getting in people's faces.
6.
The teacher's like, I don't believe you. And he picks up a little black stone with a golden symbol in it and throws it at you. Let me roll for something. What's your armor class?
18.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay.
18 plus 3. So it hits you square dead center of the chest. And all of a sudden, you just, again, how can I put it? You kind of get launched in one certain direction. Not back, but up. Like straight up. And you kind of just hover there for a second. And then you start to fall. You fall at least 30 feet.
He's so high as that ceiling.
It's pretty high. That's not even the max height.
Oh god.
Oof.
All right, so allow me to roll you some fall damage, sir. You take 18 points of fall damage.
Oof.
All right. So 86, 80. You said 18?
Yeah, 18.
Okay. I'm 88 now.
What do you do, strong killer?
I kind of get up, brush myself off, and I kind of realize that I'm not going to get anywhere here. So I start looking for an exit so I can continue my search for Kitty.
There is 2 doors, right? One right here, one right there, but you got to make it past the professor that's right here. And of course, the main entrance behind you.
I think I'll just go through the main entrance again and probably get teleported somewhere else. I think at this point, Strong Killer's like, if I have to be teleported 100 times to find my kitty, then that's what it takes.
All right, so you go through the okay, go through it again. Alrighty. He then disappears once again. Who knows where he'll end up? I need
It's
you
gonna
to
be
roll
like
me.
Monsters Inc. up in here, just going through random doors.
Thinking about that.
The sad part is, like, my mentality combined both fucking Monsters Inc. and Scooby Doo.
There we go.
Alrighty. We'll deal with you again, strong killer. It is now Locke's turn.
Okay. Where did I end up?
You ended up in the astrology lab.
Ooh, pretty. Well, first he'll look around, brush himself off.
Yeah, you
And-
see just a bunch of students calmly sitting there
Mm-hmm.
reading what doesn't. Well, roll me perception.
Alright. Perception. I'm probably gonna order those Power Rangers dice on payday. Nat 20.
Yeah.
That beautiful. All right, so You notice they are reading, but the books on the pages, they look like braille dots.
Okay. So they're
But
definitely reading something in a different language.
yes, with that perception, roll me arcane at advantage.
Alright. Arcane at advantage. Yay. How fun. It's not my strong suit.
Oof.
Never
Oof.
mind. You notice they're reading something weird.
One of
You
those
just
was
can't.
a nat one, and I'm glad it was at advantage.
But I'll allow you a second chance at redemption. Roll me a perception.
Yep. Alright. Regular. 13.
That's okay, I guess. You look around. You see this big spinning several discs right there, and
Hmm.
you notice that it looks like weird. How can I put it? You've never studied this. I don't know how to put it to a way that you wouldn't understand it. Um, for you, it's as a person, it's a
Alright, you know the best way I can think you can actually explain this?
how?
The planetarium thing from elementary school. I don't know if you
Yeah,
had it, but we had like a
yeah,
weird like air igloo thing that had like it's dark inside, but you could see all the constellations and shit.
yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That thing is a model of the universe, of the known universe
Uh-uh.
for this universe at least, because there's multiple universes out there that the
Yeah.
gods hold together. That one is a diagram of ours.
Hmm.
So what you see all around you is the exact same things on the books. Roll me an intelligence check.
Alright. I'm not a smart man.
Not today, you're not. But I'll give it to you because I thought this was a cool concept. You notice that they're reading stars.
Hmm.
The constellations all over the walls, the ceilings are the exact same as in those books.
Hmm. Interesting. I just had really, really interesting ideas.
Need something real quick. See if anyone notices you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, take your time. Like, in the meantime, Locke's basically dusting himself off and mumbles to himself, that's gonna take some getting used to.
All right. 14. Someone does notice you. This one right here.
Okay.
It's an older student. She comes up to you and says, "Do you need any help?"
Yeah, I was actually looking for, shit, I'm blanking on his name. I know Locke knows the character's name. Because he and that character share the same surname. I don't know why you did this, but it's going to be entertaining when that thing hits the fan. But yeah, basically, he asks for. Well, he would say he asks for directions, but the fact that he just fell through a portal and ended up here, and I'm going to explain it that he is more overwhelmed than anything else, where he's got that somewhat childlike sense of wonder that he had when he was, a fucking street rat for a little bit before his adoptive parents actually brought him in.
All right, so you're gonna ask her what this place is.
Yes.
She, she's gonna nod to you and says, "This is the astrology lab. This is the study of the stars. Not many mages take this course. It's not looked at as something viable for the realm.
Hmm.
But well, the ones that do take this course, we aim to be able to read the stars as easily as someone can read a book to determine what the seasons will be like. It's mainly to benefit farmers that grow crops and livestock.
I see.
By successfully reading the stars, we can foretell how the month will be for weather.
I see. That seems like it would actually be useful information to know,
Yes,
even
but
for
it's
a
still
traveler like myself.
yes, but it is still widely not understood.
Well, considering the stars are in the heavens, it would make sense for them not to be understood. Half of the gods aren't even understood.
Now, my question for you is, you don't look like a student. Why are you here?
Um, actually, actually here, investigating a former student, or at least that was the initial goal. However, the portal door dropped me here for whatever purpose.
Oh, you don't know how to navigate through the school.
Not as much as I'd like to, no.
Well, unfortunately, people who aren't adept with magic can't really navigate through the school very well,
Hmm.
even if they have a chaperone.
Hmm.
But if I could help you out a little bit, basically, think of where you want to go within the school and then walk through the door. Now, again, this only works for the magic adept. For someone who's not, it's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But imagining where you want to go will be the best case scenario to get you to where you want to go.
Hmm.
You'll get there eventually.
Hmm. Okay. So if that's the case, then Locke's going to make like a mental note if he does get the chance to visit the college again, to visit the astrology lab, and maybe like sit in on a couple of classes or whatever.
Gotcha.
You know, role play, fluff shit.
Yes.
Basically, he's putting that in a note, and I'm actually gonna put that in GM notes right now, just to like, you know. Eh. Fluff, visit astrology lab again in college. All right, wrote that. All right, but yeah, Locke will he'll close his eyes and he'll concentrate on looking for Cade's brother's room.
His brother's room. All right, I need you to roll me. Let me see. Seconds.
Like he's going to concentrate.
Yes, yes, yes. Roll me a D10 and a D6.
D10 and a D6. Okay.
I know that's a weird number.
All right. D10 is a 6. Okay. And then D6. It's a 7.
61. You make it, but you're not gonna like how you make it.
Of course.
So you're focusing.
Hmm.
See, again, it's only for the magic adept that are able to do this. Your type of focus is different from theirs.
Yeah, mine's literally explained in the handbook as life energy.
Yes. So you get to where Kate is in his brother's room.
Yeah.
But
Oh no. Hold on. Tell me how this is happening so I can see if I can stop it or not.
you enter through the fireplace that's lit.
Oh my god, he flew powder.
So you step through the doorway and step out, and all of a sudden, your backside's on fire. Like your tail. Like you step through the fireplace like it's a doorway. You're right in front of it, not in the fire, but your tail, on the
So
other
basically,
hand.
my tail is set on fire.
Yes.
All right.
Hear the Tom scream. Ah!
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, you don't know what's going on yet until whatever he's about to do fluff wise happens. You don't know what's going on right now.
All right. So,
Right now, you're in this room right here looking at all these papers.
Yep. All right. So I appeared from the fireplace like I was just walking through the door, or
Yes.
what?
You walk through the door, and the fireplace acted as the doorway. But once you're in it, it's a normal fireplace. You're not in the fire, but your tail that sticks at least about what, a foot and a half off your body.
Foot and a half if I've untangled it from my gi, but because like I've been relaxed in a place of learning, and Locke's whole thing is he likes to learn, but he's not as obsessed as one of my previous characters that like learning.
Yes, your tail is on fire,
All right.
and you take 6 fire damage, and your tail is on fire.
I knew I should have been a tiefling. You said 6. All right. Well, first thing that's happening is yes, Mike is going to hear the Tom scream, like in the corner of the room that he's in there. Just he's going to hear the Tom scream from Tom and Jerry. However, he's also going to hear a sudden collapse to quote stop, drop, and roll. And then, for whatever reason, don't ask me why this thought popped into my head. Is there any, like, beverages or anything left out?
No.
Damn. Okay. Well, if that's the case, he's going to flip off the fireplace, shout, Cade, your brother is a dick.
Well, hold on. How do you know? Oh, well, yeah, you wanted to go there, so you do know.
And it's
Okay.
more or less a, like, mild anger thing. Like, he might not even know that Cade is in this room. So he just said that out of the blue.
Basically just cursing out loud.
Cursing out loud practically at the top of his lungs, yes.
Son of a bitch.
Cade, upon hearing this, will run back out into the main room.
Your brother fucking fireplace set my tail on fire.
Shit. Cade's like, pardon me. And he will literally pick the fire off of his tail as he uses an absorb elements spell.
That's gonna take some time to fucking get. That's gonna take some time to grow back.
Yeah, you have a bald end of your tail, dude.
That's gonna feel fucking weird. That's gonna feel weird and off balance all fucking day. Alright, so he winds up tucking his tail into his gi. are days where I hate having a tail, and then there are days where it's actually one of the most useful things. Alright, so what
Cade looks at the bald tail. He's like, "Are you okay? Is it hurt at all, or?"
Does it fucking look like I'm okay?
Well, I'm gonna ask the question anyway. You don't have to be upset.
I'm upset because your dickhead brother's fireplace set me on fire.
Who told you to come through the fireplace?
Alright, anyway, what have you got?
Cade like still looks a little bit at the bald tail. It's like, okay, is it really okay? But he snaps out of it and he goes, "Well, I didn't find very much. At least nothing that I can literally translate. But I did find a loose floorboard that hit his journal. The only catch is that I don't speak the language.
Well, what language is it? Or do you even know?
You would, from what I can tell, it looks like Elvish, but I can't make heads or tails of it. Sorry." Kate like literally just like slaps his like mouth as like made a tell reference. He's like, shit.
I'm not that mad about the tail. Just it happened all of a sudden, and it's jarring to teleport from place to place.
I know. I almost ended up in a closet, and that tell reference just kind of rolled off the tongue. I'm sorry.
Alright, anything else that you could find?
I think I found some more of those books from that they're being told that we were told of in the library. Kate will take out one of the books that's in that weird uh ancient language or whatever, and he's like, it's one of those things that I can't even tell like what language it's in. Maybe you'd have better luck, but honestly, this is a little bit out of my league.
He'll try to look at it, see if he recognizes at the very least the script. Because if he can recognize the script, he can narrow down what language it is.
All right, so you're showing him the books?
Yep.
Showing him the books. All right. Let me look at something. Roll me a intelligence check at disadvantage.
Yep.
Block.
Kind of figured it was disadvantage.
Wow.
Hey,
That's not bad.
That is not bad at all. With that, I'm going to allow you to roll 2 more times
Okay.
at normal.
All right.
Because that was really good.
Okay. 2 more times intelligence.
Yep.
All right. 1.
Well, okay.
oof.
Quickly roll me a d6.
Yep.
Oh,
20.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Roll
That's fine.
20 screwed everybody.
Alrighty. So, I'm gonna allow. You know what? You've seen it. You can't read it, but I want you to roll me history real quick.
Hey, something I actually have some form of proficiency in.
This is okay, Nandy. You're gonna have a little homework to do on your character.
Okay.
But from someone somewhere in your past, you decide, and I'll add it to the story. You've seen them read something like this before, whoever
So
they were, whatever
basically,
they
you want
are.
me to invent a character off the top of my head. Got it.
Yes. Yes, because it's going to be tied into your backstory where you've seen this.
Okay. Me being the
That
vigilante
one of
slash detective that
Yeah.
I am.
one of these books
Mm-hmm.
is in the language of Abyssal.
Hmm.
You can't tell what the other two look like. For all you know, they look like Cade's brothers' poorly drawn doodles.
I mean,
But
honestly,
that
I can kind of yada yada as Abyssal and Infernal almost use the exact same script. And
I could
Lux
speak
does know
Infernal. Shoot.
yeah, Abyssal is kind of a subtext of Infernal, but it's
Yeah.
older.
Mhm.
So even though you can read Infernal, you can't read this.
Fair.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I was just like saying like that's probably how I recognize it as Abyssal. I was basically giving context to whoever other than us actually watches these.
Yep. Alrighty. So you know what it is. Go ahead, fluff with Cade.
All right. Well, to me, this one here looks to be Abyssal.
Okay, we'll take a kind of a side note or anything at it. It's like, huh? You know, now that you mention it, it kind of. I think you're right. To me, it kind of looked like a weird, like offshoot of like Infernal, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
I mean, to be fair, it wouldn't surprise me if the two started off as the same script and they just use different dialects and accents, kind of like how some other languages are.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But I do have a guy. I just need to find a way to contact them to help
Okay.
us translate that.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, I do have some paperwork I can go through. Luckily, some of it is in Common and Celestial, so I can at least help with translation on that. But
Mm-hmm.
as far as that, I think a lot of it is Abyssal.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Uh,
I mean,
we're gonna have to do that later.
He is technically using old magic.
And Kate's just sitting there and scratching his head. It's like, I know this whole school goes off of like no magic's forbidden or anything, but you would think that even with all the old magic and everything like that, there'd be some things that people wouldn't want, like people wouldn't want to be going stirring around and shit.
Well, that's possible, but you know, this whole school's thing is, you know, knowledge is power, and
This whole place is
limiting the knowledge would actually be suppressing the full potential of the students. So I
mm,
can understand it from that standpoint.
Kate. It's like just kind of being that huge sighing teenager. Like, we have to do so much work today, aren't we?
Yep.
And at that point, Kate looks around. It's like, Strong Killer didn't go with you by chance?
And with that, it is now time for Strong Killer.
Hey.
Strong Killer didn't go with you?
It just
before I answer that question, fade this Strong Killer.
All right.
it's like, oh shit, we had another person.
We had a person. Give me a second. Let me find the map that I
This
have.
is usually how fucking Cade and Locke's interactions are. Usually something pisses Locke off and Cade's to blame.
Not always.
Well, this time I blamed his brother.
Fair. I
Alright,
blame him too.
Give me a quick second. I want to find
Yep.
a decent map. I forgot to grab one. So just take a few minutes, get yourself a drink. Won't take long.
Oh, we got so caught up in our investigation. It's like, wait, we have a third?
We're missing someone. But
I
this
love it. Just
actually
perfectly
would seem
segues.
like the perfect perfect like action hero fucking sitcom thing.
Meanwhile, Strong Killer is being chased through the school. Shoot.
No, I can't find one I like, but I need one, so I'm just gonna grab a random one. Come on, me. Don't tell me you can't do this to me. Oh, you fucker.
So who's downloading the PTB on Tuesday?
I mean, I can.
Because
Really?
I need to see how they do this character.
Screw it.
Sadako
Who's
from The Ring.
okay? That's what I thought it was. I thought I heard something about that.
Okay, I'm just gonna use a random highway picture that I have because for some reason I can't download the map I want.
Mhm.
Actually, hold on. Let me take a look at something real quick. What if I zoomed in on this? Would that help? Not really. Stupid Pinterest not wanting to work for me. All right. So, like I said, this is just a random highway map that I have for traveling,
Mhm.
but we're gonna again use it as theater of the mind. Strong Killer. With your little outburst in the rune lab and the professor attacking you, when you went through the teleporter again, you actually went into the courtyard.
All right.
And every lamppost, basically every light that there is turns red. And give me a second. I have some there. I use it. Basically, stone statues start to come apart to attack you.
Oh no.
Well, shit.
And they're taller than you by at least 3 feet. They're made of stone. So, it it holds up a hammer and it goes in for the attack. It's a very basic attack. It's gonna so does an 18 hit?
My armor class is 18.
Heads or tails?
Heads.
It misses. So however you do to dodge or parry this attack, that's what you do.
I roll backwards, Dark Souls style.
And it gets one more attack at you. That ain't hitting at all. It is now your turn.
All right. I am going to go ahead. So I got to roll a d20 first, right, to see if I even hit.
Yes.
Okay.
Plus your modifier for your attack.
All right, so that's a 12.
Plus your modifiers.
Modifiers. I'm sorry, I completely forgot a lot of the battle
Well, it
stuff.
depends on what you're doing. Your halberd has a +8 to attack. Your tail has pretty much everything you have is +8 to attack.
Gotcha.
Remember, if you want to without doing it, go to your character sheet.
Yeah,
Go
I
to the
can like click
effects.
on the halberd, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's still not hitting.
Okay.
How many attacks do you have? You have, I think, one extra attack.
Yes.
Hold on. Give me a few minutes, guys. Someone came up real quick.
Nope.
No problem.
Poor strong killer. He's not having a good day.
I'm just trying to find my kitty. Now I got to deal with these stone assholes.
For some reason, I
Forgot
have
I told
a
you.
mental image. For some reason, I have the mental image if anybody see Trigun of like literally him running through a town and everybody trying to shoot at him, and he's complaining, "What did I do to deserve this? Someone save me, Mama!"
Mike, what do you think of the idea I sent you? Well, Steve's gone. Hello?
Yeah, I see it.
I mean, it works.
Yeah,
As a
if
concept.
they were the rescue Zords or the Turbo Rescue Zords.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, I'm
Because
glad
each
we're on
one
the same
of them
page.
is a different type of rescue thing, except for the
Mhm.
green Zord.
Yeah.
In that, it's literally just a race car.
Honestly, I dig it. Shit.
All right, I am back.
I'm back.
Hey,
So what do you do, Strong Killer? Is your first official turn.
Alright, so I already tried attacking the one time, missed. I do have an extra attack, so I am going to go for another halberd swing.
All right,
Got a 20 on that.
that'll hit.
Oh, I thought I could click on the, okay.
click on the
Put them
actual
in
name
can.
the
and
chat.
Yeah, you gotta click on your.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah.
10 damage.
Okay. You chip away at its stone body. Is that all you're gonna do?
Yeah, I'll just do an overhead swing, trying to chop him up.
Alrighty, my turn. That's a miss. One more turn. That is another miss. These dice are not liking me today. Your turn.
Alright, gonna go for another halberd. Holy shit.
Oh, automatic crit damage. Double crit damage.
A
Don't roll.
Oh,
it's
So
basically max damage times 2.
gotcha.
yeah, so your absolute max damage is 3 plus 7. Wait, what? Your damage is just 3. Someone look up what a halberd's D damage is.
Give me a minute.
I think it's a D6.
Halberd. Spell it. Okay. Halberd 5e.
The standard halberd, right?
D10.
Or is it?
It's a D10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all you got here is damage 3. What? Right? So
Is it
D10
a
plus strength
halberd
plus
plus
3.
3?
Yeah, he has it right here. It's strength plus 3.
Oh, okay.
That's a plus
Yeah, it
3.
would.
Should be just a normal.
Oh, it's a modifier, isn't it? Or it's
It's
a
usually a modifier, yeah.
two-handed.
Is
Yeah, it's two-handed.
all right. So yeah. So
So it'd be the strength modifier added to it.
Yep.
well, it is a strength modifier. So it's D10 plus 4. I don't know where this plus 3 came from.
Oh,
Yeah,
I wonder if they got upgraded and they forgot to change it.
I'll leave it. It's fine. You guys can do ridiculous amounts of fucking damage anyway. So it's 20. Okay, so
When roll 20 is nice to us.
for a 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. What's 20 plus 14, guys?
34.
Yeah.
34?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, you take off one of its arms.
we like that. We like that.
All right, is that it?
I still got the extra attack, so I'll go ahead and do another halberd. Keep chipping away at this guy.
23 will
23.
hit. Roll damage. 15. Alrighty. Is that it?
That'll be it.
All right, it's going to attack you. There we go. I switched up my dice. 19.
Hits.
8. The first.
All right.
Natural 20. So 28 total damage to you.
56. Okay. All right. At this point, oh, are you done?
Yeah, it's your turn.
At this point, I am going to rage and take on the form of the beast. I'm gonna grow claws. And so I will attack him with them for 23,
That'll hit.
11.
Hold on, let me look at your thing. That doesn't sound right either. Nope, that one's done
1d6
right.
plus 7.
Yep, that one's done right. Okay.
And then I attack again with my claws. 16.
That'll miss.
Okay. End of turn.
Alrighty. That misses by 1. And that'll miss completely. Your turn.
Okay. Just a second. All right. Go for claws again. That's probably a miss.
Yeah. Both are a miss.
Rip. 9. Yeah, I ain't hitting shit. End
Oh,
turn.
snap. That's a natural
That
1.
Oof.
Okay, so what happens is you overswing and you accidentally unbalance yourself and you trip over his severed stone arm. You're now on the ground prone.
Damn.
They can move an action to get back up.
And is that your turn, sir?
That is. Can I do like an acrobatics roll or something, or athletics roll to see if I can?
No.
Okay, then yeah, end turn.
I now get to strike at you with advantage. Awesome. It's actually a match, so call heads or tails. Actually, no, you're prone. It's an automatic hit.
Whale shit.
You'd get 6 damage. Second attack. That'll hit. And 5 damage. So 11 total.
All right, down to 45.
All right. It is now your turn. Now, when you are prone, you got to use your one action to get up. You can still move around if you would like, but it takes an entire action to get up.
Okay. So I will get up. Extra attack. I only get an extra. Yeah, when you take the attack
Yeah,
on your
you
turn.
got to first
Okay.
take the attack action to get your second attack.
Gotcha. Okay.
None.
So I will get up and guess move back a bit to avoid getting hit again. And kind of set myself up for a ranged attack, I guess.
Is that it?
Yeah, that'll be it.
Basically, it is now his turn. He will actually move towards you. Right up to you. And attack you again. That misses. And that will miss. It is now your turn.
All right. Going to pull out my claws again. 19.
Hey, question. Did you ever actually put in your max hit points?
Yeah, my max hit points was 96. Oh, I see where. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. 96 and you're at 45, okay.
Yep.
Alrighty. 19 hits.
Alrighty. Hit you for 10.
Hold on. Don't you get extra bonuses for raging when you attack?
Yeah, he gets resistance to. He gets resistance to a lot of damage. Period.
Bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
Oh shoot, you didn't tell me that. You probably have give
Probably
yourself
have-
an extra
Yeah, he probably had more health than that.
like give yourself an extra like 30 hit points cuz yeah, we're
Okay.
forgetting those, both you and I. It's supposed to be half.
See, and I was thinking about that. I was like, I feel like I
You're
just,
forgetting something.
yeah, I
Yeah,
completely
let me
forgot
look
to
at
click rage
yeah,
and
let me
actually
look
look.
let me look at your rage. While raging, you gain the following benefits if you aren't wearing heavy armor. You have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws when you make a melee weapon attack, which for some reason your claws count as, which is weird. Well, hold on.
Check his form of the
Let's see.
beast description because I think that might have something.
Yeah. You do have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. So basically half of what I've been dealing to you is what you get.
But
Let's see. Yeah, you did form of the beast. Okay. Add your strength modifier to the attack, which you have been doing. All right, yeah.
that was the only thing we were forgetting.
Yeah, I thought you get like extra on hits. I guess you don't. All right. So, you deal 10 damage to me?
Yep.
Alrighty.
And then I'll attack with my claws again. 12.
That misses.
All right. End of turn.
Alrighty. I attack. 18 plus 3. Okay. That'll hit you. Plus the 10. So, I did a nat 10, so it only does 5 damage to you.
Okay.
Natural 20. So you
Oh
get
shit.
total 10 damage because
All right, so I'm down to 60. That was total 10. Okay.
Yeah,
So
because it's
65.
max damage doubled, so 10 plus 10 is 20, so half that is 10.
Alrighty. Keep going at you with my claws, I guess.
Alrighty. Wow.
Nat 20.
Nice.
What's your max damage plus your modifiers?
It is 10 plus 8 for strength, right? Yeah, 18 plus 3, so 21.
21. Once you smack into it with your claws, it completely crumbles apart into a pile of
Bet.
rubble before you.
And that just leaves the one.
No, it's completely out of hit points. It's destroyed.
Oh, I thought there was like 2 of them. I thought they split into like 2. Okay.
Nope.
Good shit.
So what do you do now?
If they're dead, now I gotta start looking for a way to get back to Kitty.
So,
Huh.
so whatever direction you decide to turn to leave, there's another one right there.
Strong Killer's like, these assholes keeping me from my mission. Okay, well, I guess I attack that guy then. Move up to him. Well, I guess I can't attack since I just moved. At this point, my rage would be gone, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So you go to attack this guy. Now it's back to Locke and Cade. They're back in Cade's brother's room.
Kate's brother's room. Oh right, yeah.
Kate starts looking around.
We should
Kate starts looking around for the door.
Yeah. All of a sudden, guys, every candle in that room goes red.
Oh, great. Now what?
I don't
And
think that's a good sign.
Probably not.
and you guys hear a voice inside your head, not a loud one, saying, "We're under attack, launching defenses."
Kate's like just like face palm is like, I will bet you 3 gold coin that strong killer.
I've still got to pay Schminsky's fine. Bite me, I'm not betting.
All right.
Okay, how the hell do we get out of here?
Through a door? I'm not walking through that fucking fireplace again.
Kate goes back to that same spot where he entered in, looking for that door.
It's a door.
Okay.
That's the doorway into the room.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that hallway wasn't a closet. Okay.
Yeah. No, yeah, this one right here, that was like a storage area right there.
Okay, fair.
Boxes, baskets, and whatnot. And then this was the little hallway into the room.
And Cade just about to open. It's like, up. Wait, stop. Cade will grab Locke's arm. It's like, no. You're coming with me this time.
We're both going.
Yep, pretty
Cade
much.
just like strong killer, strong killer, strong killer as he walks through the door.
Yep.
Wait, that's not how it works. Okay. Back to Strong Killer. Alright. Give me a second. I need to do something. Da, 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 da. Put a bunch of these fuckers. Come on.
Oh shit! Why
You've
are
been
there so
fighting
many?
because you've been fighting for a good long while instead of
Oh,
going through
okay.
each individual fight that I wanted you to do. Actually, there's just a pile of rubble around you, and then the current one you're fighting. Locke and Cade. So, how did you run through that doorway? Did you run? Did you walk? Did you hop? What'd you do?
Well, Cade basically just like fast walk with while holding onto lock, and just walk through the door, trying to focus on where Strong Killer could possibly be. So just have the mental image of Strong Killer, hoping that it would take us to him.
All right. Well, in this courtyard, there would be if I could find a map for it or one that would let me actually download one. Pinterest is being a bitch.
Mhm.
Throughout this fight, there was a balcony with a doorway, and one of these stone golems just walked straight through the railing. So your little fast walk walked you through the doorway of the balcony and right off the edge.
Shit.
About a 10-foot drop. Roll me acrobatics.
Hey, something that actually might be good.
Hmm.
Let's see what my modifier. Okay.
Little fucker.
13 plus
Yeah.
a dirty 20.
Sometimes, yes. Okay, yeah, you make it. Both of you do. Locke, you just land on your feet. Cade, you kind of do like a fall roll.
Fair.
And you guys just see Stormkiller just surrounded by a bunch of rubble. You see him destroy one of these stone statues, and another just appears, never ending.
Well, that explains the fires and the emergency SOS.
So, what do you guys do? What do you say?
Well, now I'm just
Just
curious.
5 minutes. We leave him alone for 5 minutes.
Felt a little longer than that. Maybe an hour?
This place is weird.
It's magic.
You know what? I give up. And Kay will look over at Strong Killer and is like, really? What did you do?
And I yell back to him, I was looking for Kitty.
I was looking for Kitty.
I guess we better make a hasty retreat at this point.
Facepalm.
All right. So you guys grab Stormkiller and I'm guessing try to leave.
I go wherever Kitty goes. If Kitty wants to escape, then we
Kitty
shall
escape.
escape.
Give me a
EK
second.
will look over at Locke and is like, well, is there anything else we can glean from this place?
Not that I can think of apart from the astrology thing, but I'll do that later.
Fair.
As I clean up this mess.
Hold on 1 second. What the hell? Where did he go? I had him. Oh, there it is. So you guys grab him by the arm or whatever and try to leave.
Yep.
But all of a sudden you hear, "Oh no, you don't!" And he snaps his fingers, and you all just cannot move.
Hello.
Yeah.
I leave you alone for 3 minutes or 3 hours. I don't know. I grab a drink, and all of a sudden, this bullshit.
Tell me about it.
You didn't fuck up my library, did you? Because I'll fuck you up.
No, surprisingly not.
Surprisingly, no.
The only thing is that we left this guy alone, and apparently all the rocks are coming after him.
Really? And he just like hobbles over to you guys. Which one are you in charge?
Cade like points at Locke, probably knowing that Locke would point back at Cade.
And I'm pointing at Locke as well, because,
2 out
Campbell
of
rule the
3.
world.
Oh, so Locke's pointing at Cade. Cade and Strongkill pointing at Locke. Locke. Once you look back at Paraguay, look at both of these two pointing at you, you see this familiar metal rod just knock you right in between the eyes.
Well, at least it wasn't in the nuts this time. Do I take any damage from that, or is that just him
It's
just
bad
being
kitty.
cheeky?
I can't quite remember how much the damage was for psychic.
I was gonna say, do I take damage, or did he
Yeah, you
just
take
hit me upside the head with it like he's fucking Rafiki and I'm Simba?
Oh, it's Rafiki, and it's not physical damage. In fact, it feels like a hollow wiffle ball bat hits you, but you get psychic damage, which gives you a headache. You take 9 psychic damage.
I'm gonna get you a fucking leash. I don't even need to say who I said that to. I know exactly who was being talked to.
Alright. Seeing as how you did so much goddamn damage, tourist. Did you find what you were looking for?
As much as we could, yes.
Yes, I found Kitty again.
Perfect.
Not
Now,
you,
if you
you
be
midget.
perfect. Now, if you'd just be so very gentlemanlike to get your sorry pale asses out.
That's what we're trying to do.
Here, let me help you. Snaps his fingers.
Nope.
He snaps his fingers,
Mhm.
and a lot of maps. Eh.
He snaps his fingers. He snaps his fingers.
Yes, he snaps his fingers, and just like when you first arrived here,
Oh god.
you guys smack the wall right underneath that gargoyle. So, how'd it go?
Peachy.
Better than I thought it was going to go, honestly.
It went
Yeah.
alright.
Yeah.
Cade rubs his forehead from the smacking of the wall, and he's like, "Well, honestly, I think I kind of agree. I think it went better than I thought it was going to be, especially considering our history."
Yes, fantastic. This big oaf destroys 13 of our golems. The whole school's on high alert, and he freaked out a bunch of people. What a way to make friends.
Well, you seem to be the expert on it. Any tips?
Yeah, get good. Can I say anything to him?
No, I'm gonna straight up ignore him and just continue walking towards where we're normally based at.
Cade just kind of mumbles a curse at him in Celestial, and just under his breath, and just like, "I hope you go fall off and break."
Ah, better people than you have tried, chicken wing.
I love that you brought that joke back.
Cade turns around and just gives him the salute.
Fuck off.
All right. And with that, you guys finally leave the city?
Yep. Luck will work on figuring out a way to contact his contact for Abyssal translation.
Cade will start
Okay.
looking through the paperwork and translate what he can.
All right, give me a quick second. Looking for
Yep,
something.
I'm literally just waiting on the ribbon to move so I can find it.
Why can't I find him?
What are you looking for? Maybe I can try and help, unless you're looking to put a new map down.
No, not. I'm looking for the high elf dude.
You're waiting for the jack. You're looking for the
Yeah.
jackass.
Oh shit. Yeah. In fact, let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of all these. Delete. Delete. We don't need them anymore.
It's not that one. It's not that one either.
I'll just put them up there. Just give me a second. Yeah, because I can actually just. I don't know why I gotta do it again though. Ah, he's so freaking huge. Alright. Now, where are his guards? Huh, I know I had a bunch of ASMR people. Where the fuck are their things? A lot of my shit's just disappearing. It's starting to upset me. Where is it? There he is. Ah, here they are. Ah, there we go. Alright, so you guys get back to the front. To the main gate where you're met by this guy. And his guards. And he says, well, 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 couldn't help but make trouble, could you?
No, he's just
James.
gonna deadpan stare. Locke's just gonna deadpan stare at him. Yeah, whatever.
He's not even gonna say anything. He's just gonna stare and he's gonna glare at him too.
I'm
Oh, I
just
said
still looking
stare.
at Locke, happy that I found him.
He's happy about it. Anyway.
Looks like Tara's got some competition.
Yes, that's gonna be fun. Anyway, he's gonna look at you. Since we have a decent relationship with the Mages College and they didn't apprehend you for the damages sustained to the school, I, on behalf of them, as Lord of Imperial City, will take you under arrest for questioning.
Yeah, might as well happen.
I'm not surprised.
And with that, I'm gonna call the day session closed.
Okay.
Hey, we had a session.
2 months later.
2 months later, yes.
Alright. And about time, Dad was literally starting to get bored and start fucking jamming.